You had said pretty much from the day you drafted him that Matthew Schaefer was going to get every chance to make this roster. How quickly in your mind did he prove that he belonged amongst the 23?
Well, listen, he had a great camp. I mean, you saw it all, his skating abilities, but just the way overall he's conducted himself in practice, the way he works in practice, the way he played in those games, and he got better as camp went on. And even his first game on the road in Philly against basically their whole lineup. Whenever he made a mistake in the first, it didn't rattle him. Just had a good game after that, and so he's proven that he deserves to be in the lineup on Thursday in Pittsburgh, and we'll go from there.
What, Andrew?
And just you went with 14-7. How tough a call was that? I'm assuming you want Isaiah George to get regular playing time down in Bridgeport, but you had a bunch of forwards kind of competing. How difficult a spot was that? And then if you could sort of update us on, injured guys like Pierre Engvall and Varley and how they all might fit into this someday.
Yeah, well, listen, yes, Isaiah Jordan actually had a really good camp. I'm excited. He's 21 years old, so I want him playing minutes, that's why we assigned him to Bridgeport. We wanted him to be with us all weekend when we did our little team retreat in the Hamptons. So, I mean, the future is bright for Isaiah. He played games last year. That's what I told him yesterday. I said, hey, it was a very positive camp, but we need him playing minutes. It's not the right fit to sit in the NHL. I'd rather have him play. And trust me, I'd be surprised we don't see him here during the year at some point. So he's done a great job. And as far as the competition for us, but yes, we have a lot of forwards, but that's what's good. The internal competition as to who's in the lineup and what kind of minutes are you playing. So that internal competition is always good. I'm very comfortable with the group we have right now. And as far as the injuries, Semyon Varlamov, he's still skating. It was a bigger surgery, so we're just taking it as it comes. He's on the ice every day. He's working hard, so we'll see where that goes. Pierre Engvall will have a follow-up with the doctor next week, so we'll see if he's cleared to rejoin the team or not. So we hope he will. And then after that, I mean, obviously you need work to ramp up after not having a training camp. It just doesn't come overnight. But he's skating this morning. It was a day off for the players, but he was on the ice skating. Vardy was on the ice skating. And for Kellen Richie, it's just a minor injury. I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the ice in the next 2 or 3 days on his own to start just a little rehab. But we expect in a couple of weeks he should be good. It's nothing major, but again, he's a 20-year-old that you're not going to cut the rehab by 5 days just to have him back quicker. And so that's where we're at right now, injury-wise.
Ethan Sears, your post.
Hey Matthew, thanks for doing this. I'm just wondering to go back to Schaefer quickly, that there's not a ton of 18-year-olds who have come in as defensemen and played in the NHL regularly. I'm wondering whether or not you've spent time looking at the history there, and if so, what lessons have you taken from kind of how to handle a situation like that?
Well, you've seen teams having young guys, they keep him up and then they manage the workload. But like I said from the start, the way he's going to play is going to dictate what we do. He's completely earned his spot on the team and in the lineup. On October 9th, he will be in the lineup, and we'll take it as we go. Like he's been really, really impressive, because for an 18-year-old, he's still like his fitness testings were great in training camp. He's strong. He's not an undersized defenseman by any means. His skating abilities, his maturity, being an 18-year-old playing professional hockey, being in the NHL, uh, in a market like New York, I think his maturity really gave me confidence that that won't be an issue because I mean, you guys have met him, and from the first day we sat with him at the combine, like that's what stood out. So that's what kind of comforts me that he's ready for this. And then we'll start the season and see where it goes at this point. So, but he's earned his spot in the lineup for that first game.
Stefan Rauser, the Hockey News.
Thanks, Matthew, for doing this. When it comes to Kellen Richie, just what did you see from him this camp? And also, he played 7 games at the wing with the Avs last year, played some wing in camp. Do you view him as a center or winger in terms of his development going forward? Thanks.
Well, I think down the line, it'll probably be a centerman, but it's easier for a centerman to play on the wing than a winger to play center. Uh, Coming from a winger, the center position, it's an extra step, especially in the defensive zone. He's had a great camp. Honestly, really comfortable with him on the ice. He's competed. We saw even in the game in Jersey how he can make plays on the power play, and he was able to be responsible both ways. So he's really done a great job at training camp. Unfortunately, that injury came, and then we'll see where it goes once he's healthy. We'll have a few games played at that point, and then we'll make a decision once we get to the point where Kellen is ready to play. But he's listen, it's a great prospect to have in your organization, so we're excited to have him.
Back to Andrew Gross Newsday.
So Matthew, you get hired in May. You have the whirlwind, the combine. You get Schaefer. Now the roster's been submitted to the league. What are your emotions, and how ready do you think this team is for this coming season?
Well, my emotions is finally we get going. So I'm excited. I like how we progressed through camp, regardless of the results of some of the games. I like how we've progressed, especially our last two games, the way we've played. So that's what I'm excited about. We have good depth at forward, so we have healthy competition. So it's been a busy summer that I've really, really enjoyed. And let's face it, I guess I'm a lucky person. So I get the job, and Kenny Morrow got us the good luck to win the first overall pick. So and then you get a player like Matthew Schaefer. So it's a pretty good situation to come in as a new general manager. So again, there's still some evaluation on my end that's going to go on through the year, because let's face it, I'm new here. I know the team from being an opponent the last few years, but more on your players, on their personalities, which that's why I spent a lot of time communicating with players through the summer and at this training camp. So we'll keep going, but it's really exciting. I can't wait for Thursday, and sometimes I almost feel like putting on my helmet, my skates, except I can't skate anymore. And my pants, for some reason, they shrank in retirement. They're a bit tighter. So I'd love to be out there.
Back to Stefan Rauser with Hockey News.
When you acquired Emil Heineman, you told us that was a guy that you really needed to have in that Dobson deal. Just what has he shown you so far through camp and preseason?
You saw him. His shot is elite. Even I knew his shot was elite, but I still remember the first practice at training camp. He was going barring in on every shot, and his compete level. That's what I like. When I told you guys from the start, I want players that compete, that battle. That's what he does. He plays that straight game, stop and start on pucks. He doesn't go for the big loop, and he goes on the forecheck. That's why he's a good fit right now where we have him to go get the puck for those guys. And when you give him an opportunity, he can score. So I'm really excited. I think he's had a great camp, and hopefully he keeps progressing and being a solid contributor for us.
Peter Schwartz, WFAN.
Hey, Matthew. Your thoughts on the prospect pool, because in past years, some people have questioned the depth of the Islanders prospects. So how confident are you that if you had to go to Bridgeport, to fill a role, or just the overall, thoughts on the prospect pool and how excited you are about that?
I think we have a lot of good prospects coming. One of them is going to be in our lineup. Another one we'll see when he gets healthy. But we have Isaiah George, like we mentioned earlier, that's down there. We have some guys in college too that are coming in the next year or so. So I'm excited about what's coming. And we've signed guys in Bridgeport too. And we have, like I told all the guys in Bridgeport when they went down, I said, what happened last year in Bridgeport, I couldn't care less. Everybody starts with a clean slate with me. So whatever the results of last year doesn't affect. So go down there, and I'll be at a lot of games. I'm actually going next Sunday to the game in Bridgeport because we don't play, and I'll be at a lot of games and be the person that when I call Rocky and I go, here's what we need, who should be the guy that we call up. Like, you want to be the guy that Rocky says, this guy's been playing hard, has been playing the right way. So, and I'm of the mentality, like I've mentioned before, like I'm not here to justify draft picks or not. So whether the guy's a draft pick or the player's a college junior free agent that we acquired or just a free agent that we signed, whoever plays best for what we need will get the opportunity, because that's, like I said before, the draft is just one way of acquiring a player. So the goal is to reward the players that play the right way. Again, it depends what you need also. It could be a winger, it could be a center. Is it more of an offensive guy we need? Is it more of a checker? So all these affect who we call up. But I think Bridgeport will do well. And again, the AHL is the toughest league to coach in, because the NHL team sneezes and you get sick down there. So you have your injuries, you have the NHL injuries. So the reality of it, it's always a challenge. But I'm really confident with the coaching staff we have down there, and the players. Like a lot of those players that I didn't know, like a few of those guys got more than one game at training camp, because I want to see as many players as possible this year. But we decided to go with reward and with guys that had more than one game. So we'll see how they play in Bridgeport.
Thank you.
Shannon Hogan, MSG Network.
Hi, Matthew. Thank you for your time. Excited about Thursday. Wondering overall, you touched a little bit on being familiar with this group just from playing against them. But when you look at the whole body of your camp, what stood out to you overall about this group? Were there any surprises from what you saw from maybe some of the veteran guys who you thought you knew and now maybe you know a little bit better? Thanks.
Well, I mean, what I like actually about our team is, like I've challenged some players too. Like I felt our practice standards through camp went up, which that's what I wanted. Like the first 3 days, not that it was bad, but I was like, I think we have another step. And as it went on, especially the last 4 or 5 practices, you've noticed for whoever was at our practices, the energy went up. Like guys are cheering when they're scoring, and there's a little banter going on. So it creates competition in practice. And I want our practice standards to be high, and I just felt that we kept progressing during camp, which that's what I was the most happy about at training camp. I really enjoy. And at the end of the day, practices don't win you games, but practices set you up to win games. And I've really liked that we've progressed and the energy we've had the last few practices. You see the players are excited now. Like I feel there's more life in practice. And I told the players like they took it upon themselves, because at the end of the day, it can't be the GM. It's not always the coach. Like the peer accountability, the peer, how can I say that? Like the peer competition, like you expect everyone to work hard in practice. Don't call each other out if they don't. And I really like how we've progressed through training camp, and hopefully we have 2 more solid practices before we head to Pittsburgh and get ready on Thursday.
Andrew Gross, Newsday.
Hey, Matthew, I was just curious, have you seen enough through training camp to go, you and Patrick had the plan to move Mathew Barzal back and use him as a center again. Is that still the plan based on what you've seen through 6 preseason games and training camp?
Yes, for sure. That's how we're going to start. It doesn't mean that during games, sometimes when Patrick plays with the lines, it doesn't go a shift on the wing here or there. I think he's done it 1 or 2 games like that. But yes, Matthew can use his speed, and he's an elite player, so we're comfortable with having him at center.
Back to Ethan Sears, New York Post.
Matthew, just wondering what you made of Max Shabanov's camp and kind of the way he's adjusted to North America so far.
Well, first of all, you saw him at the rookie camp. Like you can see, he was a step ahead of most of the rookies, and as he should be. He's 24 years old and he's played in the KHL. It was an adjustment at the start. Like we knew it was going to be an adjustment because it's a North American game. But honestly, he's been. I felt he's progressed. The last game was his best game, not because he scored, but he made more plays and he won more battles. It's a smaller. I shouldn't say that because KHL now mostly they play with the NHL eyes, but like just the way the North American game is played, and you can see his skill level. So I'm really excited to see him progress. He's earned a spot in the lineup as well. So we'll see where it goes. But I just felt he got better in camp. And you know what I like the most is he's been looking for like one day Patrick said like he comes out of his office and Shabby was just waiting there, and like he was waiting for 20, 30 minutes, and Go, next time, just knock on my door. And like, by himself, he would go to the coaches, and because obviously the language at the start, so they can sit with him, because when they talk about systems on the ice, but they can go over them again with him. So that came from him. It wasn't even the coaches asking him. So I really, that's a good mindset for him to have, that he knows he has some things to work on. And by himself, he went to the coaches to get that information. And that's why I think in the last couple of games he's played, he's progressed. He's made a few of those flashy plays that you see him. He bounces it off the boards and some things between the legs. And then ironically, is the way he scored is almost a grinding type. He drove the net, and Tippy gave him a great pass, and then he tipped it over the goalie. So I like the way he's progressed. It's an adjustment playing the North American game, and I think he's progressed as camp went, and I'm excited to see how the season's going to go.
Joe Pantorno, AM New York.
Matthew, obviously the focus and the priority is on the moving parts around you, but since you've arrived here, has there maybe been anything that you've learned about yourself over these last 4 or 5 months?
I know the golf is impressive on Long Island, but no, I'm joking. No, you know what? I felt prepared for this. To be honest with you, I've been extremely fortunate that in Tampa, Julien Brisebois had me involved in every single facet of the hockey operations department. So I felt ready. Like nothing was new. It was new because at the end of the day, I make the decision, and it started obviously with the draft and the trade that we made and all that. So obviously you're wearing that one because you're the one at the end of the day. Like when I was in Tampa, I was giving my opinion, but Julien made the decision. Now I made the decision, but I think I trusted myself to work with my strengths, which is communicating, being collaborative with the people in the office. Like I want input from everyone. I want people to challenge me and challenge the way of thinking. There's different opinions, and let's discuss them. And with the coaches, there's been a lot of communication with the coaches. Every day we sit together and we chat about the roster, the players. At the end of the day, am I making the decision? Of course I am, because I'm the general manager. At the end, someone needs to make the decision. But again, I think I just realized that I expected to work a certain way because of the way I am. I'm not trying to be Julien Brisebois because we're different people. I have to be me. And I'm confident that I think I'm heading in the right direction. You know, it helped me get to know the players quicker because, like I said, I like to communicate with players, and so I'm excited to move forward.
Steph Cross with the Hockey News.
On and off the ice, what did Anthony Duclair show you so far during camp?
Actually, you know, we took it easy for him at the start just to make sure that his groin was fine. And look at the way he's played in the games. I think he had a point in every game. He scored 2 goals. He had a lot of sauce on that last pass to Emil Heineman. That was a hell of a pass that landed perfectly. So I'm really happy with his. He came with a great mindset. You know, obviously everybody knew that he met with Patrick this summer, and honestly, his great positive attitude, and he's going to be a big part of our team. And you know what's great with Duke is he can play everywhere in the lineup too. And I liked his commitment, how he came in every game. I thought he was one of our good forwards at training camp.